welcome to the EST Hangout.
This is the EST Hangout, and today's guests are...
A very good Thursday. Uh-oh. Why is there no audio?
Restart.
Well, we just had it.
We literally just had it.
We just had it. It was there. No.
Oh, restart.
One more chance. Test. Damn it.
Restart. There we go.
Hey, there we go. Welcome to the EST Hangout. This is very weird. Apologies for that. Our monitor's not showing any meters.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It didn't look like we were on the air. But apparently we're on the air. Welcome to the EST Hangout, presented by Sentinel Storage. Iwanyk, Tom Gazzola, Benny the Intern with you here on EST. Thanks for listening on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Tune in, iHeartRadio, Apple Music, watching on YouTube. I think I'm missing some tune-ins in there. Download the podcast.
Amazon
podcast. So
Music.
thank you for listening to the podcast. But yeah, apparently we have we're live. Boys, how are you?
Good. I think we hit the I might have hit like the audio mix thing on the top there, like on the layout. I'm pretty sure. No.
that's supposed to pop up here.
On the layout when we were editing the Canva settings.
Yeah.
There was like an audio mix thing at the top, or it's one over at the
We'll
layout.
find it after.
Yeah,
Apparently we're on the air, and that's what
We're
matters.
good, we're good.
Okay, we're
Yeah.
good.
Lovely.
So there we go. The EST Angle presented by Sentinel Storage, Canada storage experts, more than 2 decades, helping Canadians through life transitions. Canadian storage provider. Be sure to buy CanadianSentinel.ca. Max Bezzosi, there was audio. Stop gaslighting. We honestly didn't think there was audio. We weren't trying to gaslight you. Like we legit, like Benny knows this from here. Like there's no audio levels from what we usually see. So
Yeah.
I thought, our mixer's not working.
We're not trying to tell you that they knew that they were going to get offer sheets in December again.
Well, I knew that. I could have told the others.
Sure.
We all knew it.
Yeah.
It was just public knowledge.
I mean, you guys didn't.
Right?
What are you doing?
That's a good try. That's a good try.
How's everyone doing today?
Not bad.
Good. Yeah, it's rainy this morning, which is not ideal, but
Heavy rain.
yeah, heavy. I was gonna wear my B clutch hat, and then I didn't want to get rain on it, so I switched hats this morning.
I respect that.
Ran back downstairs. I'm trying to keep that B clutch hat. Nice.
What's so special about a B clutch hat?
I just like it's just nice. It just looks nice. I've always wanted one, and I was always jealous of
want
Trev's.
I don't know what a B clutch is.
Oh, Jesse
it's,
Christianbaum's
yeah,
company.
Oh.
He was on Hello Hockey this past Saturday, and yeah, I got a hat. It's a pretty sweet hat, so they're nice.
They are nice.
Yeah.
They are. I actually have to bring those in. We're going to give one away on Saturday.
Right.
On Hello Hockey.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That'll be good.
Yeah.
Oilers 92. When does the Oilers Media Avail start? 9:30.
Yes.
Till about 11:30. Players will be available. They'll just slowly roll through. Reed, I believe, is there today. So anything that comes up, we'll be sure to pass it along. And then Dusty with Gager and Cassidy and 2 guys and a goalie, as well as ESG Afternoons and Reed Wilkins Show. There'll be full coverage of everything that the Oilers will be saying. I don't believe Knobloch or Stan Bowman or Jeff Jackson will be speaking today.
Tomorrow, I think.
So it's just the media players that will be there. So yeah, we'll keep you up to date. Don't worry about that. It's also an Elks game day, home opener. According to Josh Kloss, we had it yesterday, seeing him on Twitter today, he is saying that the rains should stop about 2-3ish or so, like afternoon sometime. So for the Elks game tonight, for tailgating in the game, it should be nice. A little chillier, but it should be nice. And we will have a pair of tickets to give away for the Elks a little bit later today. Green and Gold kickoff show, myself and Jay Milne. We will get it going at 6 o'clock, getting you set for Elks, Als. Elks coming off the bye week. Als 2-0 coming into Edmonton, but a short week. So they're having to come and then fly out west, which is never easy.
Elks are going to be up against a tough defense. We know that. I mean, that front, what is it? Front 4 for the Owls. A lot of tip balls. They're just giants. They get their hands in the air. They get into lanes. They're ball hawks. And we saw it against Ottawa last week. It's going to be tough for Trey Ford. You're going to have to put the ball on the ground. You're going to have to use Javon Leake and Justin Rankin, who was on the morning show. Probably going to have to target more than just Zach Mathis. Hope Arkell Smith is supposed to be back as well.
The whole roster is the same from the BC game, except Brett Boyko's starting it.
Yeah.
Right
No,
tackle, and he
Ivy's
didn't
okay.
play. Yeah, everything else is the exact same. They got healthy through the BC game. They got healthy through the bye week, and everyone is there. So even from a return game, Leake and Smith.
Right.
It's a nice little attack if it is the same type of attack.
When you go to the air tonight, you got to go to Dunbar a little bit more, don't you?
Dunbar, got to get Gittins involved. You got to get
Gittins,
Julian
yeah.
Grant involved. Zach Mathis should not be your leading target.
I know.
Yeah, it's just that simple.
I know he's a big boy and he lives at Trey's place, but it's going to take some time for him to settle on. Because you said there was that one play. I missed it because I was coming back from the Stamps game that night. And you said there was the one play where he was like looking at the
Yeah, it was
huddle
second
and the
half.
sidelines.
And they were, maybe it must have been no huddle or something, but they were just like, he was completely like, he did not
So he
hear
just
it.
ran.
And he just was like, and then he just ran. And you're just like, okay, well, clearly he's not going where he needs to on this play.
That route's toast.
Jay and Matt's play of the day, by the way, EST, we were presented by Play Alberta. Jay and I have a big play of the game. Elks plus 7.5, so to win or lose by a touchdown, within a touchdown. Elks defense to get 1 turnover, Rankin 50 plus rushing yards, and Trey Ford 225 passing plus rushing yards. That's plus 450. Click on EST specials at Play Alberta. Download the app or go to playalberta.ca.
So you have them beating the spread because it's 5.5 or 6.5 now.
Well, we got it down to we teased it to 7.5.
Oh, you know what? That's a good play. Montreal is really good.
Yeah.
And we talked to the players and coach. Jason Moss is intense, man. Great guy.
So the line's moved. It started this week at 6. It was 7.5 a couple nights ago. Then it dropped to 6.5. Right now it's 6. So the Owls are favored by 6 points. But Jay and I, we teased it yesterday to 7.5
Nice.
to give the Elks the ability to lose by 7. Because look, this isn't a game anyone's going in thinking the Elks are the favorite.
They are not, but in any stretch, unfortunately.
Although Hernan's very confident in them.
I like that. I hope they shock for the sake of like the fan base. You know, the Elks haven't won a game in June since 2019. Mm-hmm. It was June 12th or something like that. Mm-hmm. I was like going over the stats this morning, and I was like, oh my goodness, June has not been kind to this organization for many years. 6 years.
They haven't won a July game since 2022.
Jeez.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a 2 year last 2 years.
Benny,
they
you
won
were
June
in
or July.
diapers.
I was graduated, man.
I'm teasing.
Graduated.
Yeah, June 21st versus BC 2019. That was the last Elks win at home. They were known as the Eskimos back then.
You'll have to go look when their last home victory was, home opener. That'd be interesting to have to look at.
It's been a little while.
That might have been 17 or 18, potentially.
One of the last Mike Riley years, I think.
Yeah. I don't know, Harris. Those Harris years weren't, like, they were decent. They weren't great. They were decent.
Yeah.
So, Benny and Trev will be down at the tailgate as well. We got some chips,
Awesome.
which
Yes, sir.
Dusty was trying to eat. If we are
Yeah.
short any chips there, it's Dusty's fault. He's taking it from your mouths. Just throwing that out there.
Selfish.
He would be.
He's not on the call tonight. It's me, Rod Smith, Dwayne Ford. I don't have my safety blanket. I said to the boys in Calgary a couple weeks ago. The best chirp I got, can't remember if I said it on this show, but when I was walking the sidelines in Calgary, well, first, Renee Paraday's like, you knew? I'm like, yeah, kind of. Yeah, I guess so. And then someone up in the stands like yelled at me, "We want Orleski," and I was just like, "Yeah, I understand." Sorry.
She was great.
She is great.
I miss her on the broadcasts.
Thanks.
You don't. She did win Winnipeg. You don't do Winnipeg.
I know.
games.
I'm just teasing you.
I miss. She was fantastic on
She's
it.
a very, very nice lady. A great broadcaster.
Although
And what you
Britt's
see
done a
on
great job for the Saskatchewan Winnipeg area.
Britt's awesome too. She's great.
You've got Alberta covered. Britt's got the other prairies covered, and we're good to go.
Yep.
Benny, how much are we going to get to brainwash you into the CFL this year?
Oh, I'm completely opening my mind to it. I'm ready. I'm ready
Nice.
to be fully brainwashed.
Are you an NFL guy?
Like casual. Like I know.
So like you're just not full into football
Like
right now.
yeah, I wouldn't. I wasn't a fan of the NFL for I'd say like till like 2 years ago. And then I started following it like pretty decently. And I played fantasy football last year, so I'm aware of like I know the star guys. I couldn't tell you a whole lot of O linemen or D linemen.
Most people couldn't.
Yeah, so I know most receivers and quarterbacks and all that stuff. The star defensive guys. But yeah, the CFL I'm definitely trying to learn more. I'll be there for the first half of the game tonight. So eyes are glued to the field today.
I'm happy that you're like embracing it. It is good football. Like people, I was at Ice House last week, and some guys that I'd seen before, great group of guys, but they were asking like, and I was like, I gotta go to Calgary for the football game. They're like, CFL? I was like, yeah, man. They're like, oh, I don't like that. I'm like, do you watch it? Do you know how good it is? And I hate that perception.
Yeah.
They don't understand. The people that tell you it's not good and the NFL is so much better, they don't really understand how many amazing football players come out of NCAA Div 1 every year, don't make it to the NFL, get cut. How many guys that are good in the NFL that try their hand at the CFL for whatever reason aren't good enough. It's just a shame. It's disappointing, really.
Yeah.
And this is your team. This is your team. This is your pro football team.
Change the narrative.
Yeah.
Pro football ain't coming back here if we lose this league.
That's
I
true.
don't like it, but
Anyway.
it's just one of those. It'd be like, then there's no reason to ever go watch the Edmonton Oil Kings in town, or the Golden Bears, or the Elks, or the Thunder, or the Griffins, because it's not the NHL.
Yeah.
It's not the best league.
Yeah. Do you know
Yeah,
how
the
far
NFL's great. It's an awesome league. It is amazing football. It
a
doesn't mean the
marketing
CFL's
juggernaut.
not. And the CFL, no one will ever say the CFL is a more talented football league than the
Nobody's
than the NFL.
saying
No
that.
one will ever say that. But it's another league, and that's the thing. Like then your argument will be that there should be like you'd never watch any other development league in the world. Because what's the point? Who cares about the Trappers? Who cares about the Riverhawks and the Stingers?
Yeah.
It's not the NBA or MLB.
It's like,
Don't need them.
okay, Premiership is the best footy league in the world or whatever, but then, so you can't like MLS? Is that
Or the CPL or any of that.
right?
Like, yeah,
Like, it's a
quality football.
flawed argument.
And also, the one thing I will just defend, and Benny, as you get into the CFL, the one thing you'll have to learn is a game's never over for the most part.
Yeah.
You know, with the
So-
timeout situation, like
Okay.
it's a common thing knowing like there could be 2 or 3 scores done in the final 3 minutes of a football game.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Just with possessions.
Possessions,
Like
3 downs,
I was
the
gonna
way
say,
the clock
the 3
runs.
downs. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, the clock runs on the whistle. Like in the NFL,
Right,
play
right.
stops if it's inbounds or
Right.
something or not a time.
Yeah.
Then it's just immediately starts the
Yeah.
40-second. The CFL, it's not until they whistle the play in.
Oh, really?
Then the clock
Yeah.
starts.
Yeah.
So, then it goes.
it's like yeah. Oh, so you can march up the field quickly,
Oh yeah.
like according to on the
Like
time.
let's say it's the Elks are down by a touchdown today. They get the ball. They run the ball. They'll whistle it in pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Place it, but then the Elks get to play. But it's not until it's whistled that the clock will start running.
Yeah.
And then if they throw for a first down, it's like there's
Yeah.
that time. There's only 2 timeouts per team
Yeah.
for the game, so you can't just kill a lot of clock
yeah,
with that.
yeah.
Like we're like the timeouts.
can't
Like in the
save
end,
clock.
if you
Yeah.
if you don't have your
Timeouts.
timeouts, it's not a big deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then also if you get down, if you finish a play with 1 second, then that clock ticks to 0.
And then
you still get a play. You still get that one more play.
Yeah.
So like
I
there's
like
just so many,
that.
and it's all over the place. And I think last year, I would have to go look at the stats again. I think it was around 60% of games ended in the final 3 minutes. So it goes
That's
right
good.
down
Yeah.
to the wire.
That's good for the game. I found like NFL games and stuff like when you watch like a team go up, it's kind of like that's it.
2-minute warning.
Yeah.
You know, team with the lead gets possession, or they need 1 first down, and it's over.
Done. Yeah.
It's that part's frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna add.
There's no
something to
CFL video game, right?
that. No.
No,
unfortunately.
and like the problem with that is like Madden was one of the things that got me into football overall.
That's
and it's why it's for a period of time when I was playing that I knew offensive linemen.
Yeah,
Because specifically I was trading for 11.
Yeah,
Actually, like now I don't know him, but when I was playing Madden religiously,
Yes.
I knew some
Me
of
too,
Steve
actually.
Hutchinson
Yeah.
from the it was Seahawks then Vikings. I wanted him every year.
Yeah.
I knew some of those big ones.
Yep.
But it's just one of those for the developers. you're not selling that game in the US.
Oh yeah, exactly.
So how many games can you actually sell in Canada, and it's just not worth it? And then you got to deal with the CFL and the CFLPA, and then if the PA wants to get paid for that, like there's no money in it.
Yeah.
And I understand why there is no true video game from the CFL.
There was a guy that was a developer for EA Sports for a long time, David Winter, I think his name was, and we had him on at 1260. He created Maximum Football, and it was primarily Canadian football rules based. He didn't get the licensing. I don't know. I can't remember if he was talking to the CFL, but ultimately that deal didn't happen. But he started this game, and then it was bought by a bigger developer.
Yeah.
And they have been developing it. They released it a year ago. I played it at my brother's place. It's actually pretty good. And it's one of those games where it doesn't like have a year-to-year new game.
Yeah.
It just continues to be modified and developed. And it's called Maximum Football.
That's
the
way to do it, in my opinion.
I believe there is a CFL mod. They took out the field and the rules when they relaunched it.
Yeah.
The Canadian rules and stuff, but I think they're going to reintroduce them, if I'm not mistaken. But somebody did create the logos and the teams, but not like officially licensed. It would be nice to see the CFL on there. And then there's a text that came in, said it's two completely different sports, comparing.
Yeah.
You have to go into it with an open mind and know that it isn't the NFL, but it is an exciting game and it's fun. It's football. All football is fun except the UFL. I like that last line because I selfishly, and not to like want people to lose their jobs, because that's what happens when leagues and teams fold. But for the sake of the CFL, I would prefer the UFL went away. Because then the guys that stayed in the U.S. that could have come up to Canada, some are pretty good. They would have their other option would be the CFL.
I could also live with the UFL is right now because they're not growing.
It's not doing well.
And they apparently are committed still to next year and stuff. But I don't see more money being given to players. Mm-hmm. So if you're more talented American, you might still see Canadian as the option because you can make more.
It was interesting. I was talking to Nick Anderson the other day. He was in last week, obviously, with Royce Metier.
I don't think it was but he's above my head.
Yeah. Those guys were great. First of all, they were awesome. It was awesome that the Elks brought them in. Thanks to Mike and Evan over at Elks Communications. Anyway, we were talking to Nick Anderson going into this week, and he was talking about his journey to the CFL. And when his window closed with the New Orleans Saints, he was, his agent called him and nothing came out of UFL opportunities. And then finally someone reached out to his agent and said, how about, would you consider the CFL? And Chris Jones actually went and met with him in Jackson, Mississippi, and was like, hey, you're not the tallest linebacker, but you're a great tackler, you're good instincts and all that. Would you consider the CFL? And he's like, I didn't know anything about the CFL because he had not watched it. I know it used to be on ESPN too. Now tonight's game's on CBS Sports. He's like, then I watched a YouTube game between Saskatchewan and Edmonton, and he's like, what is this? Like the field's huge, the movement with the waggle, and then he's like, yeah, I'll give it a shot. And he became most outstanding rookie of the year last year. And now, I mean, I was listening to Dusty talk about like, what jersey should I get? Someone was like, my first Elks game in a while, what jersey should I get? Nick Anderson might become one of those guys that's around for 5 to 8 years. And he's relatively young. When did he graduate out of Tulane? Like 2 years ago, 3 years ago?
It'd be a couple of years.
Yeah, he's relatively young. I mean, he was exploring the city. He's getting to know it more. His favorite restaurant is on 104th Street, Soul Fried Chicken. Great spot, by the way, right beside Fox Coffee. But it's neat to hear like how, they get curious, the players down there, and they learn about the CFL, and they're like, this is neat. Okay. Oh, I can make some money. I can play and this and that. People do love the game. And all of a sudden now Nick Anderson's a rising star in the CFL. I just found that kind of thing fascinating.
The Fords would be easy jersey choices, either of the Fords.
Yeah.
I think Royce Metier would be one I'd be interested in.
What a smart guy.
I enjoyed the conversation. Personable. Morgan or Anderson, Serezna. You could go O-line more with Beer or Cordy because they also U of A alum. Shout out to my alums My brothers.
Again?
My
Alright.
brothers.
This again?
All right.
My brothers.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah,
That's kind of where I think like the stand, like those would be the ones that I would like, maybe Leak and Rankin as well. Those would be like kind of the list that
Rankin changed his number, huh?
5. Yeah.
Yeah, from 31.
Yeah. So, we'll see what that running attack needs to go. I know Jay was at walkthrough yesterday and he spoke with Jordan McSimic, the OC. And McSimic knows, like, yeah, no, we've got good running attack here. We've got to go do it, which is nice to hear because, again, the concern that, Hernan and I and others had going into this season with McSimic goes OC was in BC, he had good running backs. They didn't have a tandem like this, but he had good running backs. And they just abandoned the run and they wouldn't get into it. So hopefully we just see that and they can establish it.
I remember James Butler just crushing the Elks a couple of years ago. Just popping off. I think that was 3 years ago. And I was like, jeez. That was a bad year for the Elks, though.
There's been a few bad years.
Yeah, that's right. They've kind of melted together. Turn that around now.
Hopefully. And I still like to me, it's always going to be a tough schedule to start as this season has progressed. It made it look even tougher for me because Montreal looks even stronger. And Winnipeg, we'll see what they do this week out in BC. But going to Winnipeg's never easy. And so I've got my concerns for the Elks to where their record will be to start this season. But I do think they could turn this around. But if you go grab a win today, be huge for just the season, for the confidence of that room too.
Yeah.
Just everyone in that room. I think you go beat the Montreal Alouettes, even just that team that you beat. It's 6.5, 7.5 point dogs.
That'd
Come
be
out of
huge.
that.
I mean, you'd have to play an outstanding, tight football game, both sides. Throw special teams in there too. Get some kicks.
That's important.
Blanchard.
That's kind of important.
Yeah. I'll say this too. Mark Killam's great energy. Unbelievable. Like, I think the Elks are in good hands. Just talking to him again this week.
Elks, 7 o'clock, TSN. Tommy will be on the call. Great and Goal Kickoff Show. Myself, Jay, will be on at 6 o'clock right here on Edmonton Sports Talk across our channels as we will get you set for the Elks home opener, which I will look at the forecast here quickly, the hourly from Environment Canada. Clausen says mid-afternoon or so, the rain should stop. If I go to the hourly forecast, this isn't helpful. What did Clausen say? I'll just go find him again.
It's supposed to be like 14 or 15 by kickoff. So wear a jacket.
Yeah, it's going to cool off overnight, and as the sun slowly goes down and stuff. But he has today, because he replied to someone, rain will end at some point this afternoon. Should be dry, possibly even a few sunny breaks for the game.
Perfect.
So if you're thinking of where they're going and the rain's like, I don't want to sit in the rain, it doesn't seem like you will be impacted by the rain. If you're in the golf tournament today that Bellsy and Cameo are in, you might still have a little bit of rain in that one.
Yeah.
But if you're wanting to go to the Elks game, you want to go to the tailgate prior. EST will be there. Turf District will be there. Elks Herd will be there. Jason and Andrea should be there. Spirit of Edmonton with Haraxi will be there. It's open 3 hours before. I know it's a little tougher for people to get there 3 hours on a Thursday, but head on down. Have a great time. It's going to be wonderful.
Also, Dave in Section T, who was on the show a couple of weeks ago.
Dave in Section T. Sorry, Dave.
Yeah.
The Cordy clan.
The Cordy clan. Dave in Section T says, can someone bring me an EST hat for the tailgate? He'll bring cash. Can we make that happen?
I will get on that.
I think we can make that happen. Yeah. Perfect.
We'll be there. So.
The new tent makes its debut.
Oh yeah.
Partially.
What do you mean?
We're not bringing the walls and the backdrop.
Oh okay.
Oh, okay. But just
I haven't taught them how to do Jay Reed and I went out to set it up, and it takes a little bit. Even when I was getting it from Bruce, he was like, initially he then couldn't do it in the end, but he's like, I'll come show you how, when you grab it, I'll show you how to set this up.
I love these tutorials on who's ready for their EST tent tutorial. Let's go to the parking lot. You were very, very focused.
You all will have to go do it. I'm going to show you all how to do it because it is, and it's like a 3-person job.
It is
maybe a 4.
The actual build making it is pretty simple, but you do need some muscle.
Don't validate him.
No, it's
Jay will validate me on this one. Reed will validate me on this one.
Even if he's right, just don't validate him right now.
He knows I sign his assignments at the end.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
He knows where his brother.
I need those marks.
We pay your checks. Pay your checks.
Yep.
You're conflicted.
So yeah, it's but yeah, the part of it'll be nice. We're actually getting things. which is kind of exciting. I forgot. I'll send you guys with the cornhole game too. We have a cornhole game.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
It's an EST one.
Corey B says, "Can we catcall Tommy on the sidelines?" The answer is yes. You guys do it already, so I don't mind it. And
Hey, Tom.
they're like, "Yo, shut." No, it's but I have my ear monitors in, so I can't always hear it. But sometimes I'll catch something. I'm like,
How convenient. I can't always hear it.
Yeah.
It's
I see what you did there.
I'll just give away. We got a pair of actually, hold up a second. I'm supposed to get them from Sentinel, the pair of tickets.
From Sentinel?
Yeah,
Nice.
I got a call from them this morning. I got to first make sure I got the tickets. And then I don't want to give away tickets. And then all of a sudden, I don't actually have the tickets. I should double check that. Oh, I got sent 2 tickets.
Excellent.
Perfect.
Beautiful.
I've got 2 tickets to the Edmonton Elks game as they take on the Owls tonight. If you can go and you're going to use these tickets, a pair of tickets to Elks Owls later tonight. We'll do a trivia question. Let me think of a trivia question here. What year was the last time the Edmonton Elks won a game? Well, the organization won a game in June, in the month of June. What year?
Yep. I
You're
did.
listening.
Regular
to the show?
season game. If you were listening,
If you're listening, you
it was dropped. That answer was dropped. 780-218-9999. Text that in to 780-218-9999. You'll go into a draw after the show. I'll get in touch with one of you, the winner, after we draw it, and I will get you the pair of tickets if you want to go to Elks Owls tonight down at Commonwealth Stadium. Actually, there's a lot of info I've got to throw out there on that Elks game right away. I got to find that right away here too. But if you want a pair of tickets, and you know that answer, text it to 780-218-9999. It says the Elks have a lot planned for this game.
I hope there's like 25,000 there. 30 would be great, obviously. There was a time, Benjamin, where like it'd be like 35,000.
That's
and
great.
you could tell like the lower bowl was pretty full, and then you could see like it would have the crest in the middle of the top deck.
Yeah.
It would have quite a few in the middle sections, and then it would taper off on both sides. People on the north end zone side where CW's, what is it called? CW's bar? Underneath the
I think it's
scoreboard.
still CW's. It used to be. It was always known as like before it was CW.
Yeah, and
Then they shut it down.
people lean on the rail.
railings,
It's kind of
yeah.
like a get together hangout place.
It was packed.
It was always
That's
full.
right.
You had to like kind of like wander through it, and you'd be like, "Oh man." It's
Was that Mike Riley era? Like
No.
no
before that?
Before that? Yeah, but
What
now
was-
they have the party sections where Belzy has his season seats. No surprise. And those are cool. Those can get sloppy. I've wandered down there to visit friends, but they've done a good job. And then now they've created these loge seats at the top of the stairs of the second deck.
Yeah.
You get like these patio seats with a
up to
tent.
6 people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks cool. They tried doing it on the field a couple of years ago. It was actually really neat.
There are still some of those seats on the field too.
Like
they really have
They
like
still
couch
have them
seats?
in the north side. I saw them at the preseason game. They had still some of the couch seating.
those were cool. Like
Those look cool. When I was there last year, I was like, how do I get one of those seats?
Hernan hooked it up for
yeah?
us one year, and I brought
sick.
like Mooner and T Dog, his buddy that works for the or T Bone that works for the Red Deer Rebels, and my family. It was awesome. It was great.
Those look sweet.
There's new food items. I wonder if is Gager slinging dogs?
Yeah, he did a video on his Instagram talking about Gager's wieners that are going to be available.
There's the debut of the new in-stadium band, house band. Super Dogs at halftime.
Of course.
The return of an old favorite, Fire Truck. Tickets just starting at $20. Visit goelks.ca for that. There's a new beer gardens replacing the Jackie Parker patio outside of Gate 2.
Oh, good. That's
Beer
cool.
tub, lawns game, shaded picnic tables. There's also free glizzy. This is pregame. Free glizzies at the Green and Gold Barbecue.
I love how you used glizzy.
That's
Unless
that's how it is.
they're
calling it glizzies.
They know how
That's
to feel.
fresh.
They're calling it glizzies. During the game, as I said, new food. Also the debut of a new house band. So 10:02 tickets. Goelks.com if you want to go to the game tonight. You should want to go to the game tonight. I want to go to the game tonight.
Yeah.
Or you can enter that answer. Still some time to get into the draw for the pair of tickets. Let's get to EST Hangout headlines. Brought to you by the Ranch Golf and Country Club. Premier conditions, top-notch service, unmatched value. Book your tee time today by visiting theranchgolf.com. Matt Duchene, 4 years, what would I say, 18 million
Yeah, so 4.5.
with the Dallas Stars. That was signed today. Or this morning, and the Oilers do have the media avails that should be starting any minute now. So if we see anything from that, we will pass them on to you. Pieces of note from the Edmonton Oilers, though, the last 80 for 24 hours or so, maybe less. We could go into the Frederick news, or we can go into the LTIR news. Where do you guys want to begin?
I'll start with the Frederick news. Like, the reports are correct. That is what they're talking is 8 years, $4 million per. The thought is that when they move on from Evander Kane, if they're able to, Frederick takes over as the muscle eventually. And apparently, Frederick's camp thinks it can get 4 years, $4 million, 7 years on the market. So that's kind of their argument. So there you go. That's where it's at.
I don't understand that at all. Like I think if you look at his production, like I don't think he's ever been a $4 million player.
18 and 17 goals this year. Obviously not anywhere near that. Bad Bruins team. He was injured. I think, you know what? Like, his performance in the playoffs wasn't great.
No.
And especially in the Stanley Cup final. I know in the third round, we were starting to see it a bit on the post-game show. Like, where's Trent Frederick? Where's Trent Frederick? The ankle had to have been bothering him. And the game got so fast, too, in the Cup final that I think it outpaced some of the guys, 100%. Him being one of them, as well as obviously Klingberg and Ekholm, who's maybe we find out how bad his injury was, but everybody really likes Trent Frederick. He's a good guy, glue guy type of player, type of guy in the locker room, and if he can be and will be that muscle for the team going forward and replaces Evander Kane, and he can get his wheels going with a healthy ankle, then the noise around him right now, that'll quiet down.
100%.
I'm stunned by 8.
So am I.
To me, 8 is for stars.
Yeah.
It's for your McDavids, your Leons, your Marner even, if he was staying with the Leafs type thing. It's those top-end players. It's not your depth guys that should get 8.
And if you're going to go 8, usually that means you're trying to lower the AAV.
Right.
For like those bottom 6 type guys. So like in Tampa, Nick Paul signed a 7-year deal, $3 million. He probably could have went and gotten 4 or something. A contract for him probably would have looked like a 4x4 or something like that.
So the Elks think, or not the Elks, the Oilers thinking he could have got 4.5, 5.
That would be the thought process, which like that's crazy to me. To me, $4 million is like the high of like, okay, like if you were to sign into a 2-year deal at $4 million, I still wouldn't love that AAV, but I would be like, okay, like he's a young guy, like you don't know what he's gonna do for you in the regular season. Like he could have a good year where that's worth it, but it's 8 years of that. It should bring the AAV down, and I don't know. It sounds like it's gonna stay around there. I don't know. I don't love that contract at all.
Yeah, Frank had it that it should come in. It might come in just smidge under 4.
Yeah.
So it might not be the hard 4 number. I just want I always think, okay, worst case, things don't work. I feel like you have to do that if you're a team with some of these players, because like, okay, how do we get out of this contract? And like if this is a 4 or 5 year deal at 4, okay, you're not getting out of this contract until like maybe 2 years into it if you need to.
Yeah.
Okay, 3 years, that's movable, I think. If you eat a little bit of money, it's possibly movable. If 2 years in, you're going, this is just deal's not working, you can still have 6 more.
6 more.
So you would then have to eat for sure money.
Oh, yeah.
Getting rid of that one.
100%.
I don't think, and now you have that on your books for 6 more years type thing. Like it's that part where I look, if things don't go well, I don't like it. Well, and part of this is like they may think he fits this organization. They may think they like the player. But it hasn't shown to work. Now there's the injury. I get that. But what if this is also just who he is with the Edmonton Oilers? And you're locking in for 8 years. I'm not worried about the 4.
The people I know in Boston that I've became friends with through NHL and stuff, they've all said that he was not great in Boston. Like they were saying to me like, oh, well, like on the trade when he comes to Edmonton, he goes, he's not anything insane. Like don't get your hopes up. Obviously, the high ankle sprain limited his play in the postseason, and I think he could be a very productive middle 6 guy. I think he can be. But yeah, 8-year deal, that AAV, that's tough. And imagine if they give him some like trade clause.
Well, Hernandez in the nasty chair going, is there a no move clause?
Yeah,
I don't think so. I think the Oilers will have learned that one, you can't give everyone that, but 2, also like, okay, if they're in negotiation with Trent Frederick going, we're giving you 8 years, but look, we're not giving you that. We're giving you 8. You choose. We're giving you the 4. We're giving you the 8. We're not giving you this one as well. And if you want to be in Edmonton, you got to give us a little something here, and we're not giving you that.
Full no
clause
move is
or
an
something.
absolute like no go to me.
Most
What
he
they
should
got,
have at most, which
is
I don't even
modified.
like, a modified no trade.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yesterday, I was looking at Puck Vita during Oil Stream, and it was looking at next year's contracts. It was like 8 forwards and 2 D-men. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
And remember how we found out like Janmark had a no move
Out of nowhere.
and Arvidsson and Henrik. You're like, and it was like middle of the season. And you're like,
What?
what?
Yeah.
How does that make any sense? Yeah.
Yeah, that
He's
one just
right.
can't be there. But
Yeah.
so we'll see. We'll see if that news gets announced over the course of the next couple of days, and then officially see what that number is. Yeah, it's just the 8. It's
Why? We're
Yeah.
bottom 6 guy.
This text says Frederick at 8 years is giving me a Lucic vibe. Lucic was 30 or 29 when he signed.
Yeah.
he also
6 years.
relative to the cap because he got 6 something.
So he gets 6 mil flat.
It was a lot
Yeah.
closer. Like that was closer to a max. Like not.
Yeah.
Was he? Did
It was
get
a higher
7 years
like
or
It was,
six?
it was, seven, it was 7
value
years,
was
6
6
mil.
million.
7
Yeah,
years,
6 million nowadays probably. Yeah, I guess it would be maybe closer to 4. I guess the one thing that the Oilers might argue is that, and some people will argue, is the cap is going to go up significantly over the next few years. So that 4 is just going to keep dropping.
Yeah.
My one thing though is with that is that just because you're going to get more money doesn't mean you have to give everyone a little extra raise that they don't need.
Exactly.
If you penny pinch here and here and
Yeah.
here with these players, maybe you could get one other player here or give, maybe that money is the difference between you signing this free agent from another team and them coming to you. Like that's where it's just because the cap's going up doesn't mean, well, yeah, 3 years from now, the cap's going to be well over 100 million. What is this extra, $500,000 for him? Well, what is that extra $500,000 versus, and plus the extra 250 here and the extra 350 here? Like it all adds up.
Exactly.
That's the only thing I'd go with on that.
The free agents now, the pending free agents next year, as this cap continues to
gonna get
climb,
paid.
they are salivating. These agents are just, they want their bite out of the bigger pie now.
GMs have no control.
Yeah.
You give an NHL GM cap space, and they will spend it immediately.
Yep.
And the owners are going to be down their neck,
yeah.
just like, you get it done, get this guy, I want this guy. They get drunk with
Yes.
New.
excitement.
Where I think what I heard from the postseason avails out in Ottawa with Anlauer, is it? And Steos was they're not looking to spend to the cap unless they deem it necessary. They are looking at the idea of, having cap space is actually can be more important and a better asset to have nowadays of what we've learned than just being a team that's completely at the cap and you're having to balance the cap where it's, hey, we've got an extra 5-6 million that we're sitting on. Okay, maybe that gets us something else in term. We could be a facilitator of a trade, or when there is that player that pops up, other teams have to move bodies out to try to get players to fit on their cap. We don't need to do that. We've got the cap.
We don't even have to ask for him 50% retained. Like we can just take the full contract, and then you don't have to pay extra to retain it, right? Like,
And I just don't get why more GMs don't do that. Why it's like this year, like if of the 32 teams, I'm going to say probably 80% are just going to spend it all.
oh yeah,
And it's just like, and then next year they're going to complain, this cap, but we're going to have all these cap problems. Well, yeah, because you keep spending. And then you keep throwing these no move, no trade clause, and you keep overspending in free agency because that's where all the mistakes are made. No wonder you're crap.
yep.
for
And,
other
and
teams.
I think Ottawa's in the perfect situation for that too, because they have a lot of guys that are on long-term, lower AAV compared to what they could be. Guys like Kachuk's there. I'm pretty sure Kachuk's are long-term. Stutzel, Sanderson, like those guys they have locked up for like 8-year deals, like 8-ish mil.
Sir Thomas Chabot.
Yeah, sure, Thomas Chabot.
That is
You're going to do that
Tales
like
of the
a
North reference.
Richie, old Richie.
Sir Thomas Chabot. Well, Dusty does that on Tales of the North.
But yeah, they did have Josh Norris there, but then trade him. But yeah,
where did he go?
He went to Buffalo. Deadline. One for it wasn't a 1-for-1, but it was
that
pretty
the
much
Cousins deal?
Cousins deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I think they won that trade.
Remember how sad everybody was about him getting traded? Brady Kachuk.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yes. Yeah. Kachuk was crying. Yeah.
This text says GMs are like teenagers with credit cards. Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's-
honestly,
that-
agree with
that's
that.
fair.
Yeah, like that. That's a great analogy. Like Kelvin Van Dassler, cap management instead of LTIR, interesting concept.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to see more teams go about doing that. I'll go back like the Lightning a couple years ago when it was the Henrik deal with Edmonton.
Yeah.
They got something out of that because they helped facilitate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got a little pick out of that.
Yep. Right. Right.
I'd love being one of those teams. And it's not like the Lightning are a bad team or anything. They're competing. You know, they want to go win a cup still, but they have some cap. Hey, we can get another pick out of this. Awesome.
They were one of the best teams in the league going into the playoffs, and they ran into cup final or cup champions. What was I going to add to that? Somebody texted in, Tommy, what do you make of the thought that Ekholm might actually retire? Is that swirling
that out
around?
there?
I've yet to see that.
I don't know about that. I
Well,
don't think he would want to.
I will say the one thing. I know people were posting. His wife had a post that Lauren reposted on Insta.
Yeah, Lauren reposted. It was just the message was a thoughtful like thanks Oil Country for making this such a great year.
They've made Edmonton home, have they not?
Yeah. Like
It's one of the rare guys that actually sticks around.
Yeah, it's funny actually. Not this most previous summer, not this. Yeah, most previous summer, the summer before. I live in a neighborhood in St. Albert that has like a lake for the residents in the neighborhood, and me and my friends are playing spike ball, and my buddy like hits the ball and past me, my other buddy, and guy picks it up, T.S. Ekholm. Throws it. Does he must have known someone that was in the neighborhood, and so he was in there. And then like my buddy was walking to the bathroom, and he was talking, and he heard Ekholm talking to one of his friends, talking about the Petrangelo slash. He was, I couldn't believe it, like the full blown axe throw, or axe hit.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, he seemed like a great guy. I didn't ask for anything from him. Obviously, you just want to give him.
That's good. You're a good media member.
Yes. Yeah,
That's
I
very
was training.
professional.
I was training already. I was like, nope.
Smart man. EMG says her post did not allude to retirement.
Yeah.
No, yeah, just look at it again. It's a lot of like thanks. This is heartbreak. You know. But I'm wondering if maybe that's where that came. Somebody saw that went, there's thank you the city that they're done.
Some people take things
And
out of context.
reading it the wrong way.
Maybe we hear more from him. I think there was a lineup of which guys we're going to hear from. I'll try to dig that up from the group chat. But I don't foresee that. What I do foresee is him rehabilitating from his injury, and it might stretch into the start of the season. That's my concern. That's just my personal concern from what I've been told. Maybe he's going to be good to go. I don't know, but a healthy outcome goes a long way.
Okay, I'm going to throw this out there. I'm going to start my rants on this one early. Regular season don't matter next year, people. What did we just learn?
You were right about
don't matter. Ekholm's not there to start the year. They're going to miss a few games. They're not going to win and I don't even now need to hear home ice matters because the Oilers had home ice in the Stanley Cup final. It didn't matter.
Blew it.
It's being healthy, and you could argue that Ekholm not being healthy for the playoffs. You could argue that Hyman getting hurt in the playoffs. That's what kind of cost them maybe here a little bit. Or maybe pushing the Panthers a little more and stuff here. Regular season don't matter.
The one series
Things go bad, start and then a stretch or something. Just let it be.
Yeah.
Let it be. Because the Oilers will be in the playoffs.
No, they need to make a trade.
The Oilers will be in the playoffs.
No, they need to fire a coach.
And we also know they could just turn it on during a playoffs too.
They kind of
The regular season next year for the Edmonton Oilers doesn't really
get to the
matter.
dance.
We just have to watch 82 games and seeing can the Oilers just be healthy.
Yep.
Getting to the dance, and then it starts. That's when we are. What is it going to be like? We're 10 months away from the Oilers season next year beginning.
Yep.
That's true.
We've got a long time till the Oilers season begins.
So what am
next
I
year.
doing between end of September and
You're doing
April?
a very long preseason.
Oh, I love it.
A lot of preseason action here, Tommy.
Those 10:30s in San Jose are going to be awesome.
Those are great.
Just here, throwing that out there.
I'll do the lineup really quick for
Go ahead. Yeah.
for medical. They're doing medicals too today, by the way. Availability. So Frederick was supposed to go at 9:30. I have not been looking at Twitter to see if any updates have come up.
I haven't seen anything.
Bouchard 9:45, so that should be right now. Perry at 10, McDavid 10:30, Leon at 11, Nugent Hopkins at 11:45, and Connor Brown at 1 is the schedule that was laid out.
Just want to say that the Oilers, the only series that they lost in this playoff run, they had home ice.
That is true.
So
they should finish low.
they should try to finish it a wild card.
Thanks. Starting off I said it during the playoffs. Starting on the road, I think is better.
I agree. Honestly,
So,
I agree
we'll
with how they had the layout.
So,
If I 100% agree with you on your take on how you change it.
thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I think it's the proper way to do it.
10 months away from the Oilers season beginning.
Yep.
That's
Everyone in the Nash chat's been asking about the LTIR situation with Kane.
What about it?
Like how
What do you
apparently the
wanna
NHL might be investigating
Yeah.
on the Kane LTIR and seeing if it's the Oilers did that properly.
it's interesting to me.
Yeah. To me, why now? Vegas, Florida, Tampa, they've all done it.
Do you remember we had Dave on right when Evander was supposed to come back on Hello
Yep.
Hockey?
Yeah,
Tremendous program, Saturdays 10 a.m. to noon here on EST. You can also catch on Sportsnet Radio in Calgary and sometimes Vancouver.
Or download the podcast.
Or download the podcast. Thank you.
Subscribe, download.
Yes, thank you. But Dave said that throughout the process of him being on LTIR, they are the league is supposed to be thorough. The Oilers are supposed to provide medical records. They're supposed to update, and so apparently everything was kosher until game 1 or 2 of the playoffs starting. And then, so now all of a sudden they're going to look back into it. I mean, you could probably look at about 15 other teams
Yeah.
and how they handle, like Matthew Tkachuk came back all of a sudden.
Whoa.
I have two. One is I want like sometimes the Oilers, and you've talked about this in the past, Tommy. Oilers draws clicks,
Yeah, it does.
and this comes up. Did we know? Did the Lightning or the Golden Knights ever being looked at like this by the NHL? Do we know that for a fact or not? That's what. Where's
that's a valid
with,
question.
Like it comes with the Oilers now. That's going to draw clicks all of a sudden.
It
where that
does.
Gets, like that's yeah. Oh, the Oilers doing this. Oh, this one's going to
very
get us
true.
some clicks. So I don't know whether the NHL did this or not with the other ones. I think the one issue that would come here is though Kane speaking.
Yeah.
He opened his mouth a little too much.
Yeah. That's what Bruce McCurdy said.
Shocking.
Or Kevin McCurdy.
And that might be the issue that came here is that, when Stone had issues, when Kucherov had issues, when Tkachuk, Tkachuk was legit hurt. Now when he came back, but he did, we saw him get hurt at the Four Nations, and clearly through these playoffs, we knew he was hurt. But it's one where, during the season, they didn't make comments like we got from Kane. And that maybe then set off a little bit of alarms at the NHL going, well, you guys are doing this. Everyone else has done this, but damn, you're making it hard for us because now you got your guy saying something. So I wonder if that's where the NHL is coming from with that. But it does look bad from a league perspective, though, that the only team doing this is the Oilers when other teams have done this.
Yeah.
Do we have
clearly.
tissues in here?
We used to.
I might need to wipe my tears. Mark Gallo in the chat says, wow, you guys cry about everything.
I'm not crying, but if you need a tissue, we can
I
get you
think
one.
I need one. I'm crying pretty heavily.
Welcome,
right
Mark. You sound like a fun dude. I was just going to add one thing. There's always something with Evander, right?
now. Yep.
Mark saying we'll blame everyone except yourselves. Actually, no, we've blamed the Oilers. If you listened to the show yesterday, we went through things on the Oilers. I don't know who Mark is. Is he a guy from are you from Florida or something?
He's come in and talked about Panthers quite a bit.
But he's
he's
in
probably
Florida.
one
Like,
of the
where do you live,
54
Mark?
season ticket holders.
He said he was hungover
on the post.
Oh yeah, there you go. He's definitely one of those. He said he's still hungover from the elbow room.
Well, then how sad
How
is
did
your
you
life?
get in, Mark?
Well, my question
It's
is
a small spot and it's for VIPs only.
how sad are you then that you're tuned into Edmonton Sports Talk when you live in Florida? Then I don't know. The beach is right there. Go golfing. We can't golf right now. It's rainy. It's
raining.
Go golfing. It's a little.
God's crying because the right team lost. How about that, Mark?
That's funny.
It's what it is.
I like
we'll see
stirring
what
it
comes up with this LTR. I wouldn't expect. I honestly would be shocked if they actually did something on the Oilers, because then every team would have to deal with this.
Here's an interesting text. A typical NHL, this texter says. It's just like the draft pick for Chiarelli or the draft pick for James Neal. Let's leave that there. Yeah. Anything else?
I don't have anything else in the LTR unless you guys do. I'll wait and see.
No, yeah.
I'll be curious what happens, but I also would be shocked if anything actually comes of this, because it just then every other team would have to be careful. Or if any other team does it, I'll say this: if something happens in the Edmonton Oilers and teams keep doing this, the Oilers should have speak every so often, this team's cheating, and call them out. Put them all other teams on blast.
They're already known as whiners.
So-
May as well dig into that a bit.
Well, I would. in that sense because it's if we're getting it and these other teams did it and they didn't get anything, I'm calling you out. I'm calling out every other team. I ain't playing nice in that one. So yeah. Once we see the stuff from the others, we'll pass that along.
Sure.
Any other good news? Or we because it's that we get into that year where it's like things. Still, the Lakers selling yesterday.
Genie, but 10 billion?
10 bill evaluation.
What does that do for everybody's franchise value?
It just shoots them up even more.
Because the Clippers were, how much did, what's
Ballmer
his name?
bought them at 2. An NBA team, I want to say Timberwolves, it might have been the Bucks. It's one of the M's up north. They had sold that year, I want to say like 700 mil. And then the Clippers, Don Sterling had his racial remarks that were caught at TMZ.
Yeah.
The league was kicking him out. And Ballmer just immediately was like, 2 bill. And every sports franchise from that moment on has just shot up. Because if the LA Clippers are worth $2 billion, what are NFL teams worth now? What are the big soccer teams worth now? What are the Celtics and the Lakers worth? What are the Leafs and the Rangers worth? Like everything just shot up from that point. And now we saw the Celtics go for, what did they go for? Was it 9 or something? But now the Lakers going for 10. Like it's a stunning event. I never thought I'd see the day that the buses didn't own the Lakers also.
And that was just the majority share too, right? Or was that the whole
but I
team?
think that's everything the bus had left.
Yeah.
Because this owner, I forgot his name, Mark Williams, is it? Who his group, and like he owns the Dodgers. He owns, I think, the Spark. He owns the PWHL. He owns Cadillac F1, I think. Like this guy owns things right now.
That's the new F1 team coming in?
I think so. Like he owns a lot that's coming in.
Okay.
He bought Philip Anschutz's shares a few years ago of the Lakers.
Oh.
So he owned like 20-some%. Bus family owned like 60-some%. I don't know what who owned the rest. And he bought their shares. I think.
So he's got outright owner.
But Jeannie Buss is staying on as the governor and in control of the team for another 10 years or something. So she still gets to run this, but now apparently there's real money now behind this because I guess the Buss family maybe didn't have real money. Like
it was all in
this.
Investments and stuff.
But now this guy, like, and we saw it with the Dodgers. We saw it. We're seeing it with other things. He has money, and now he's bought the Lakers. And I honestly just one of those with the Buss family and anyone that's watched the Showtime doc or other things. Just know, like, I'm stunned that the Buss family is no longer the owner of the Lakers.
They had a great run. Now they have $10 billion in their bank account. So.
Oh, thank you, Rip City. The Celtics were 6.1.
Right.
So yeah,
and that wasn't
now,
long ago.
So now, and the Lakers are an iconic franchise, so they're worth higher than some NFL teams. But what are the Dallas Cowboys now worth? If Jerry Jones wanted to sell, or he passes and his estate says we don't want this, what are the Dallas Cowboys now worth? If you're looking at the LA Lakers saying they're now worth 10, and for a number of years, the Dallas Cowboys, according to Forbes, are the most valuable sports franchise in the world.
That's insane. 15?
And who could afford that? That's the other part.
Elon Musk?
It's investment funds. That's where sports ownership's going. It's going to go into investment funds and things like that. But it's
some
10
Saudi
bill
people's
is just
fund
shooting values up. Like it makes me believe more that Daryl Cates will sell the Edmonton Oilers before Connor and Leon retire. In the final years, he will sell this team.
Yeah. You know what, Matty? You might have something there.
If you're Daryl, you sit there with.
But you don't move. You can't move them.
No, because they have with the rink. There's a deal
also,
for.
They're the highest grossing the record revenue for a team in a season this year.
But it's one. If you're Daryl, like we bought the 200 mil,
240, I think it was
240. Yeah. Now it's worth over $1 billion. This goes up. It's probably, and with the revenue they get when they go far and stuff, there's quite a few billion that you can get here. Mm-hmm. I would think based on now where all these valuations are. And do you want to deal with the day when Connor and Leon aren't here and you have to lower ticket prices or whatever, or empty barns or things like that?
That will come.
And that's where I will just take that, within 12 years, I wouldn't be shocked if all of a sudden we get that press release. Daryl Cates has sold the team to investment group X.
Yeah.
for $5.6 billion American.
When that revenue, the record revenue thing popped up, what was it, last week or whatever? I was like, oh, that's crazy. It's like the little engine that could, right? Being a smaller market, a little big city and all that. But at the same time, too, part of me was like, oh my God. And it's on the backs of just gouging the fan base. So to me, like, nice that they set a new record in revenue. And, you know, there will be people who boast about that. But at the same time, you think how they did it. And this was part of my like conflict when I worked for them, was like, you just use and abuse this fan base and their love and passion for the team. And that, unfortunately, was one of the thoughts that popped into my head when I saw the news that they had broken the record for revenue by a team in the league. I was just like, well, you jacked up the prices at the playoffs to the long-time season ticket holder. It's not as cool as some people might think it is, in my opinion. Also, whoever texted in this picture of Kucherov with the Lombardi Trophy and Stanley Cup wearing a T-shirt on a boat, smiling with $18 million over the cap while he chugs a beer. Well played, sir. Well played.
And I remember Kucherov did that, but that happened after the fact, and that's just that was just true fact. They were 18 over the cap.
Yeah.
It's not like they could still. It's not like he said anything about his health at that point.
Right.
It's about the personal health. It's not like he came out. It's not like he wore a shirt going, "I was healthy." Like, that's where I could see the NHL, why maybe they've come up, as Kane said something, and he wore a shirt after it all. But it was just, our cap, we were 18 over. The Oilers were over at points, during the season. Like, it's just that I do understand that part of it being a little different. Portions of this hour of the EST Hangout, they're brought to you by the High Product Marketing, official merch partner of Edmonton Sports Talk. Promotional products that bring the buzz. Check them out, thehiveproductmarketing.com. This is the EST Hangout, presented by Sentinel Storage. Benny, Tommy, Matt with you here on Edmonton Sports Talk, live on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Tune in, iHeartRadio, Apple Music, YouTube, and thanks to those listening on podcasts. Coming up later today, we do got Lock Shop coming up at 11. I hope the boys, it's a Thursday, so week 3 best bets of the Canadian Football League and NBA Finals game 6 tonight. We've got 2 guys and a goalie, EST Afternoons, Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne. That takes you to 6 o'clock when then Jay and I will take over the Green and Gold. Kickoff show is Elks home opener tonight down at Commonwealth Stadium. Draisaitl is speaking to the media. Quote, we probably made it too easy for them, especially the last couple of games, is one of the quotes. I know Rashog posted video.
Yeah.
You see the Draisaitl quote?
Oh, here.
Do I want him here forever? Yes, we all do. Draisaitl when asked about McDavid signing long-term.
Yeah, but he has not talked to him about his future. Sure you haven't.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
Funny.
They say that they haven't talked, but
Leon doesn't sign that 8-year deal without.
if Leon had signed a 5-year, I could agree. I could maybe live with the narrative that he didn't talk to Connor.
Yeah.
He signed a 5-year. He just wanted some money. He wants another contract still after that. I could sit there and be like, hey, you want to know something? It keeps his options open. I could see, he wanted to do this on his own. When you sign an 8, you can't tell me.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to say, okay, fine. His fiance and Lauren had a chat. Celeste and Lauren had a chat for them or something.
Sure.
Like you're going to say that because it's Connor's deal, but what is that? The latest report I saw yesterday was expect it to be done relatively early when it comes to Connor and the Oilers.
Nice.
Like that both sides want it. I think that was from Dreger. Both sides do want to get this done.
Yeah.
And they want to get it done quick. So to all you Leaf fans, I look forward to the crying after that.
That video I posted yesterday is at almost 30,000 views now on TikTok.
Which one?
The McDavid isn't leaving.
Matty, you were really good on that one.
Just hit 30K.
And I saw people, no one's saying he's going to be signing somewhere else this year. Yes,
Yes,
you are,
they
basically.
are. They don't know when his contract's up.
Connor's leaving. Connor's going to sign in Toronto. Well, no, but he's not. Because he can't. Like, that's the problem. Like, if you want to say, oh, yeah, he's going to go one more year and then sign it. Like, no one's ever prefacing that with he's going to play out his contract and then still sign in Toronto. Like, there's still a whole year of his career left on this contract with the Edmonton Oilers. Most of them, I don't think, realize.
I forgot about TikTok. Did you put that one up of me about the...
Yep.
How's that doing?
That one's at 5K
Oh, okay,
views,
good,
100
yeah.
likes.
Yeah.
Not as big.
Maddie's
as,
blew up. Nice.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah, because Leaf fans are idiots.
I look at the comments and
Fact.
laugh. It's so funny.
TikTok is ridiculous.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's where that's where you can get the real
Like what tiers?
gen comments.
It's where you top out at an 86 IQ.
Yeah.
What tiers are going to come from Toronto when Connor signs with Edmonton?
Big tears.
Like,
Lots of tears. and abundance.
everything. This guy grew up to Leaf. He's going to come home. And what happens if he doesn't, or when he doesn't? I should say. I don't even have to go if there. What happens when he doesn't? Like, what are you guys going? Oh, he's going to want out after a couple years. No, he signed. It's done. Deal with it. They're just so annoying. You know what? They should be more worried about their guy, and Austin Matthews.
Yeah.
Because how many more years left does he have? 3?
He signed a shorter term deal, didn't he?
Well, that's the thing. He signed only like a 5. So, Puckpedia. I'm slowly getting
Nice.
better at going to Puckpedia. How much?
Jennifer Zero on TikTok followed me and she messaged me, said, hello. I clicked on her profile. It says, I'm caring and honest lady. I'm a billionaire. I came here to help others in need. Should I reply?
You could be a billionaire.
Oh,
You can be a
sugar mama
billionaire.
there, Tommy.
she's very attractive
hello,
too.
hello,
This is
hello.
real, right?
Oh, hello.
You want to go live in Arizona golfing?
Yeah.
Boom, there you go.
I'll retire tomorrow. Oh no, I still want to work here though. I like it here. It's
Austin's got 3 more years. What happens there in Toronto? That's what they should worry about more.
Superstars have never requested a trade before. Laughing face. Also, he will sign with the Leafs at the end of the next season.
Is that on TikTok?
Yep.
Brilliant.
If I'm McDavid, I wouldn't resign and just see how the team does. Do the LeBron move. Yeah.
But that's even that doesn't even just add up because what to see what? You went
To
to the
go to
cup
the
2
second
straight.
round,
So where else are you
lose?
going to go? Like the only
yeah.
so the only other move he has is the Kevin Durant move, which is okay. I can't beat the Panthers. I'm going to go sign with the Panthers.
That's I just saw 97 will sign with Florida in 2026.
Why? I'm not getting into that one. There was a post. Yes, I'm not getting into that one. Because literally somebody posted, what would the trade look like?
Oh
for
yes,
Panthers? No.
I saw that.
not
I
doing
saw
it.
that.
I'm not doing it.
That came from a real network.
Yeah.
That
it did.
was not fake. That was real.
It did. It was not.
Patty Ketty just texted me, what's TikTok? Patty, it's stupid is what it is. That's what it is.
But it's also wonderful.
At the same time,
There's a lot of great things I have learned from it. And when I want it, like, it's sometimes quicker. Like, the videos are quicker than YouTube. That if I want to know how to do something, I will actually go look at TikTok.
I
too.
talked about this. I defended TikTok early in the Hello Hockey days of me producing. I said, don't get me wrong, the app itself, there's some bad spots and there's some people on there that say some crazy stuff. But if you're looking like tutorials and like how to do something, you can literally search up like on the search bar, like even if it's crazy in your own mind, like to type it out, like it doesn't make sense, it will actually. It's very, very good at navigating what you're looking for, and it's quick videos, quick, simple, snap right to it.
There's some good golf stuff I've seen on there.
Yep.
I've seen some good kitchen things for cooking or cleaning that have come from TikTok.
Any card game I don't know how to play, you
Somebody
search it
will
up.
show
Someone
you.
has one like perfect, lays it out like perfect.
It's got its dumbness to it.
Yep.
Some of it's
100%.
funny, some of it's just completely dumb.
100%.
But it's also got it actually does. I hate that I like it.
Okay, so
I've never posted a TikTok though in my life, and I'm
I've
gonna
posted
keep
a
that.
few.
I am
I don't like
not
it.
gonna post a single TikTok in my
it's
life.
a
I'm sticking
hassle.
with that one.
It's a hassle. Desi, do you watch The Daily Show? Do you watch The Daily Show? It's a great show.
No.
It's a comedy show. It's really good. But Desi Lydic, she's fantastic. She does Fox Explains on like any hot topic, and it's like TikTok style.
Oh yeah.
And so her head is like, you know how you can silhouette your head and then have like images in the back. And I'm like, where have I seen this style before? And then I like fired up TikTok. I'm like, oh, she's mocking TikTok. That's so good.
Yeah.
Brilliant. And then there are people who like try to report news, quote unquote, in that style. And the sad part is people believe it and think that they're legitimate news sources.
Oh yeah.
It's just shameful.
But there's good things to learn on there. You want to learn
Like
something about your
DIY
car.
hacks, okay.
You want to learn something about your. There's actually some really good like camping DIY hacks. I don't camp, but I've seen them. Like these are fun videos to watch. Even
The best videos I've found on there are the ones, they're golf videos mocking people who use irons off the tee. I'll leave it at that. And I send it to my buddies all the time.
I saw one with where I'm placing my driver when I'm driving.
Yep.
I got to move my driver back and explained why. and it's like I was like, oh,
They're actually, yeah. There
I
is
like having
actually-
it close to it, but I'm like, okay, no, I actually have to be like, I still have to put the ball where it is, but I need to move my club here, and it actually made sense for that.
The amount of golf videos I found, I'm like, I'm gonna use that on the course.
This-
And
I'm
I get
also
out
trying
there,
to-
I completely forget.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm also trying to build a sourdough starter. So I've seen a lot of sourdough starter videos.
Oh,
Yeah, and the For You page is very much curated for
you.
you.
Yeah.
It is,
Well, yeah. So like, and it does a really good job of. Well, I don't know if it does a good job of this, but they know how to give you the stuff you want.
yeah.
The stuff you follow, like what you want, and like what algorithm, like and what you've been looking at, what you actually follow, and then just some new random stuff.
Yeah.
That you'll just get some chick, and you're like, oh well, okay, you're doing some dance I don't care about. Flip.
I hate the dances. Hate them.
So they mix it
they-
up. It's like a third, and a third. So you get for that 40
Yeah.
page, there's a third of stuff you don't want. But then the problem is if you stick on it, like if we're
Yeah.
talking right now and I flipped up to a TikTok and we just kept
Yeah.
talking and I didn't realize what I was watching and I watched the whole thing. Now I'm going to see a bunch of videos that are the exact same. It's like crap.
Yeah.
I need to reset my algorithm somehow.
Well, I have a friend. She is like she's a local influencer. Lauren Hahn is her name, and she does like deals of the day. She does like those OOTDs and stuff. And now I get a lot of those. I'm like, what is going on here? I do not want to buy like yoga pants. I don't need them. Anyway,
Yeah.
I think it's funny. Did you ever watch Manolo Teaches Golf?
I don't think so.
I thought he was hilarious for the longest time. I followed him. I loved his videos. And he did like he really digs into like the Cuban accent and all of that. He's like,
Yeah,
okay, you guys. But then you like hear him talk in real life and he's like, hi, I'm Manolo. Nice to meet you. But the way he does truly teach golf, and like you want to work on your sand game, he'll teach you bunker shots, stance stuff, blah, blah, blah. And it's funny. It's clever. It's a shtick and a character, but at the same time, it's really good. I stopped following because it got repetitive, but I actually like Manolo loves golf or teaches golf. Thought it was pretty funny. He's got 1 million followers on Instagram. I'm sure he has TikTok too.
I'm just gonna read a comment from user 166302638635545.
That's a great handle.
The reality is that Edmonton had their best shot at winning the cup last season, and McDavid knows this. It's not automatic that you play for the cup every season. It takes a toll, and other teams also improve. It comes down to whether he wants a cup badly enough to go elsewhere. I think that's the last comment I'll read from TikTok, but like,
well, it's
That's-
just it doesn't make like
Like-
there's no guarantee going anywhere.
yeah, exactly. Like,
So then why didn't like Crosby leave? Why didn't Thornton or Marlowe leave the Sharks a lot sooner when they're prime?
yep.
Why did they stick around? Why do all these guys like and what? So Toronto gives them a better chance? Toronto has never won a third round playoff matchup.
They have never. Yes, that's
Jeff
true.
Skinner has more playoff or Stanley Cup final goals than Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner and John Tavares
combined.
and William Nylander all combined type. Like it's the Leafs have not won a Stanley Cup in a non-expanded NHL.
Yep.
They definitely don't give you the best chance then. Like, and if it's all like, so it's just, it doesn't make sense because like right now, if you had to power rank the West for next year, as of right now, and there's moves that still have to happen.
Lots will change. Yes.
But how do you not have the Oilers as the best team in the West? Who could knock off the Oilers in the West that we've seen?
Right now, nobody.
Exactly.
Clearly.
And like, even if they, with moves that teams make, what the Oilers have shown over the last number of years is that basically no one could beat them.
They've won the West 2 years in a row.
The only team that could beat the Edmonton Oilers right now are the Florida Panthers, who are just one of the most
They're a
best
dynasty.
Thorough
built
team,
team,
yeah.
top to bottom. Like, tell me what real weaknesses the Florida Panthers have.
They had none.
Like, if the Panthers fall to anyone else,
Their healthy scratches weren't great.
sure. Well, there you go. No, the depth's not there. Sure.
There's a 3-on-3 game of healthy scratches. The Oilers win that one.
They win that one.
Go to the 7 other teams in the East that made the playoffs. If any of them got to the Cup final, do you have a fear that the Oilers would have lost to them?
Probably not.
That's like, there's only one team that like the Panthers are now the they are the Oilers to the Oilers being the king. Like
Yeah.
what the Oilers are to the
foil?
Kings, the Panthers are to the Oilers right now.
Yep.
But there is like, even if I'm looking at now McDavid and a year from now, I'm going to jump even a year from now, and I'm looking at who's giving the best chance of getting there. Well, Dallas needs to make a lot of moves to be playoff to be better in the playoffs. Like they're a good regular season team.
They're talking about trading Robertson.
Well, yeah. Well, I was supposed to say, well, they're out of cap space now because of the Duchesne signing.
You got Colorado. Okay, they're pretty good, but they have their flaws. Winnipeg is going to be Winnipeg until further notice.
Yep.
Like the LA Kings can't beat the Oilers. The Canucks, the Flames, we could take them out. The other California teams we could throw out there. Seattle, I'm not worried about right now.
No.
Vegas.
Chicago's on the way up. No.
Vegas,
man, but look what the Oilers did to them this year.
Yep.
Like they're not. The Oilers are like in the end. The Panthers are just really good, but the Oilers beat them up in a sense. Like they're stronger. Like I'm so. Can the Oilers get back to the Cup final next year? Like it looks pretty good right now.
100%. And that's funny because it's like I think we've all talked about how I think the West has been the better conference over the past couple of years compared to the East. Like I like. There's good teams over there in the East, but I'm looking at the playoff bracket this year. I was going, okay, whoever wins between Tampa and Florida is going to the Cup final, and I didn't think there was any way around it.
Yeah.
Like that's just kind of what I thought, and that's what a lot of people were saying. I'm not gonna think I'm some genius for saying that. There's a lot of people saying that, because of just what the East their conference has in terms of Carolina always chokes in the conference final.
They really do.
Toronto's Toronto.
Carolina's done. They're toast, man.
Well, they have a ton of cap space like this offseason. Depends what they do.
But who are you going to go? What are
But
you gonna,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The way they build teams is flawed.
Yep, I agree.
But so that's where it's like I'll even jump like next year the Oilers lose in the second round. Let's say
That could happen.
Hey,
well.
get
Very
into
well.
the Cup. Like I know the Panthers did it 3 straight years. The Lightning did it 3 straight years. It has happened recently, but it's hard to do. Like I think the odds state that the Oilers might not make it to the Cup final next year. But if I look over the next 5 years out of the West, who do I think could get there maybe the most out of anyone in the West? It's going to be the Oilers. I think they could get back in the next 5 years to the Cup final. Well, they have a chance every year. But if I had to guess, I'm going to say they get back 2 more times to the Cup final in the next 5 years. I don't think that's outrageous to say. And it's just one of those, I don't think you also got Leon. And where else are you going to go where you're playing with a player as good as Leon type thing? And for your legacy, if Connor's, I'm sure is a guy that cares about his legacy. Like, are you going to go run to Florida? Are you going to go run to Tampa?
If he wants to go play with someone as good as Leon, I think the only team that could support that is Colorado.
Sure. And then do you want to be the guy that's known as running to go win a cup?
And then are they going to have the cap and everything for that? Like,
Become KD and nobody respects you.
Yeah.
No one was going to respect that ring that you get. Like, and Ray Bork's a different circumstance because Ray played an entire career.
Yeah.
21 years, I think, or 20
And then he
years.
got traded to Colorado, and then the next year played the full season with them and won the cup. And it was like, hey, he got a cap off his career with the cup. But again, we also remember it that way.
Yeah.
We don't remember him as a Stanley Cup winner. We remember him going to go get his cup.
Yeah.
type
And
thing.
I don't think any of us are blaming Connor if 20 years into his career, the Oilers ship him out to go win a cup somewhere if the Oilers are bad. Like, no one's blaming
The
him.
Bruins were brutal
Yeah.
when they traded Bork, too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Connor's
Yeah.
38, 39 and doesn't have the cup, and the Oilers
Go.
aren't there.
Go get
and
it.
they go, you all know something? There's this team over here that's close.
Yeah.
I think all the other fans be like, it sucks that he didn't get one here,
Yeah.
but go get your cup.
That's how Bruins fans looked at it.
Yep.
Jason in Leduc says the Panthers just went to 3 straight finals. They won the last 2 and looked the best on their 3rd trip. The fatigue and belief assumption is misguided by your own bias. I love that the Oilers seem to be in every other Canadian fan base's heads right now. So insecure. Yeah, that's a good point
Well,
at the
yeah.
end there.
That's, I mean, when you're the Oilers and you make the cup final back-to-back years, a lot of teams wish they were in the Oilers' shoes right now.
The flip side, though, I'll throw to the Panthers, though, getting there was that they got to add a lot of bodies this year, though, because of injuries.
Yeah.
Like Seth Jones got to get added at the deadline. He didn't play playoffs the last couple of years. He was fresher. Like over the years, they have done a good job at the deadline, adding some fresher bodies to a degree, but also that's because of injuries.
Yeah.
That's just not a normal thing. The Lightning, same thing. They had Kucherov on IR, and then were able to add. So I do think there is still a thing to the fatigue, though.
Yep.
It's a long grind.
Also,
And the West is a lot tougher, though, than the East. As you pointed out,
yeah.
I don't think the getting there is as physically. It's obviously physically taxing, but as much as it is out West.
Yep. You brought that up with the Seth Jones trade deadline. I remember like the narrative of like at the deadline, teams that don't like the teams that make the biggest splashes aren't always the ones that go and win the Stanley Cup. This was, I think, maybe the year that changed. Like Marchand and Seth Jones trade, like those two trades were huge for Florida. Marchand was probably second in Conn Smythe voting.
Yeah,
I'd imagine. And Seth Jones, in my opinion, was either their best D-man or second.
Very smooth.
Like
it's just a good player to add to
like
solidify your
those
blue line.
were two
Yeah.
key pieces. I don't know if Florida wins that series without those two.
And I see your point, Jason Leduc. The argument I'll make, Matt, is that the Oilers seem to be wanting to turn over a few players as well, and then that's a fair point. But it's not as high end, I would say, maybe to a degree, like a Seth Jones.
Yeah.
Like the 4 defensemen that the Oilers will most likely roll out next year. Well, I guess 3 I'll go with. We're here last year, and we're here the year before.
Yep.
Bouchard, Echo, and Nurse. Wallman, I think, jumps up into the top 4 maybe next year a little bit.
Yeah, I could see that.
I think so. I'm high on Wallman, but
And I don't think there's anything wrong with a down year at one point coming up for the Oilers to then get back up there.
but here will lose its mind.
Oh, it'll go
Yeah,
well.
not 100%. But I wouldn't be shocked if the Oilers, like I first round exit, but a second or a third, you're losing to a good hockey team probably at that point, and a little bit of rest doesn't hurt for the next year too.
Or maybe you get some fresh legs in there
Yeah.
at the deadline next year and make another run. Like
You need that
Jason.
Brad Marchand year next year.
Yeah.
Although
Yeah.
Wallman was pretty close.
EMG says, I think this loss is more frustrating and will fuel them more. Last year was so emotionally exhausting, comparing the 2 losses.
Yeah. Well, last year, we talked about this, I think yesterday. Like, last year was kind of like a, whoa, like, all right, the Oilers finally made over the hump to get to the Cup final. It was the first time seeing the presentation of it and everything, just being and experiencing it. You come back down from 3-0. You're losing games. There's a lot to be proud of and look back and go, oh, that was a successful year. This year was like expected. Okay, you gotta go win this thing this year, and you fell short. You went very, very far. You fell short though. I think it's a little bit more disappointing this year. 100%.
Friedman on radio in Toronto. There's a quote: Oilers explored moving Evander Kane at the trade deadline. Quote: There'll be a market for him this offseason if the Oilers do go that direction.
Weird.
Crazy.
Where did we hear that? Months ago.
I think there's a show on Edmonton Sports Talk from 10 to 12 on Saturdays
where that was reported.
where that was reported.
Reed Wilkins at the Oilers. Trent Frederick gives a brief answer when asked about a new contract. Says there's talking. Adds he's not thrilled with how he played in playoffs. Didn't offer much when asked about his ankle injury. Corey Perry also says he wants to win. And quote, hopefully it's here. This is the EST Hangout presented by Sentinel Storage, Canada storage experts more than 2 decades helping Canadians through life transition. Canadian storage provider by Canadian, the official drink of the EST Hangout. It is the Finnish long drink legend, a 1952 drink unlike any other sparkling refreshment, real liquor. Longdrink.com/Canada is where you can enter your liquor store and find an establishment or liquor store nearest you with the long drink in stock. Benny, Tommy, Matt with you here. Yukon Jack finally showing up here to play a game at Tecmo. Hernan's not here. Hernan's running scared, it seems. He was supposed to play a game at 10:15, pushes it back to 10:30. They're playing in the rain today on Tecmo as well, though. Twitch coming up. I will have it on my phone a little bit as well.
Of course
I need to
will.
watch that. Well, yeah, it's a big deal.
I like how you guys are cracking on Uke for not being here. He's going to have to come in and play like 5 games today.
Well, we said to him when we were starting this, and I don't know if he's listening right now because he's got such a loud voice that he probably can't hear me over his own talking right now.
Oh, boy.
He said coming in, like, hey, you good to come and play games. Yep, I'm
He's
in.
here.
But it's like once a week, once every 2 weeks he's coming. You got to come at least like twice a week or something to get your games. The guy's played 4 games.
Yeah, he's here.
We need to play 24.
Jeez.
Now we're all going to be sitting there like, oh, now we got to wait for you. And then it's going to be summer. He's going to take time off. Like, I now expect at this moment when he takes time off, he's like 1 full day, he needs to come here and play 10
We
games.
should summon him onto the Hangout right now.
I do still need to get him on the Hangout. I
Yeah.
keep promising him that. Although I've also said like he should bring his kids on because they want to talk basketball. They're huge NBA guys.
Perfect. Get Jazzy in here.
Yep.
4-pack of tickets, the Edmonton Stingers. I've got those to give away right now. They are taking on the Winnipeg Seabass this Sunday. I got a 4-pack of tickets. Seabears, sorry. Seabass. I'm thinking of Hernan's team is the Chilean Seabass. The Seabears.
Are they ill-tempered?
Well, Dusty, right before I came on the Hangout today, he looked at me and was like, I hope you beats Hernan because Hernan will lose it.
Oh, my God.
Hernan will be so angry.
That's a Austin Powers joke. Remember when he's like, I need sharks with freaking laser beams on their head?
Yeah.
And he's like, well, we couldn't get sharks. What do we have? Sea bass.
I don't remember that.
Dr.
the
Evil
sea
goes,
bass part.
are they ill-tempered? Very.
Stingers tickets. If you want to go see the Edmonton Stingers, perhaps family, you want to go see the Stingers on Sunday, take on Winnipeg, as it'll be the battle of WSD versus EST. Text us. Who is the NBA MVP? NBA MVP of the regular season. 780-218-99 at 99. You'll go into a draw. I'll get in touch with someone after the show for a 4-pack of tickets to the Stingers. See the Stingers on Sunday. Who is the NBA MVP this past regular season, the 24-25 season? You can even go the initials, like the common nickname. You don't have to spell it all if you don't know how to spell it all.
I'm just on Twitter. I saw your tweet yesterday. As one does, returns the cart to its proper spot. The backstory behind that tweet.
You don't know the backstory, Kate?
I think I might know.
So I don't know fully how it came up, but a couple days ago I was in the office. I was in my office doing work. Hernan and Gager were sitting out after their show. Reed, Jay, and Zach were on. And something came up about carts and returning your carts. And Zach said there was Jay had said something along the lines, I might have this a little wrong, was you always return your cart. And Zach's like, well, there is that one situation. And he's like, they were like, whoa, what was that?
Yeah, whoa.
Do you not always return your cart?
Is this grocery shopping or golf?
Grocery shopping.
Oh, always return your cart.
And it was one of those, like, he had this, like, well, and then after he came off and, like, Zach walked out and Hernan, I don't know where he was, but Gage was like, Zach, what are you doing? Yeah. And then I was like, from my office, and we just laid into Zach. Like, you always return your cart.
What does
you
he
always
do?
bring back your cart.
Yeah, you don't ding up people's cars. That's ignorant.
Oh, and then he's like, well, I think his excuse was like, well, in the winter, like if it's really snowing.
No.
Like, that's definitely the point you bring it back.
yes,
Otherwise, you're
yes.
making the person be in the cold themselves going looking for carts.
As someone that worked at a Sobeys for 4 years, or 3, and had to push those carts in the snow and minus 30 weather, return your damn cart.
Did it at Costco.
It sucks.
It sucks.
I thought this was going down a road. There's a guy on YouTube. His name is Cartnarks, and he goes around.
Does he look like Bubbles from Trailer Park Boys?
I don't actually know what he looks like. He just has a GoPro on.
Okay.
And he goes around and he just basically sits in grocery store parking lots all day and looks for people that doesn't put their cart away, and then he'll run up and make sure they put their cart away and stuff, and then if they try to drive off, he'll put a magnet on their truck and stuff, and then people lose their mind on him. It's so I'll show you guys later.
How hard is it to just put the cart in the corral, for crying out loud?
Zach would be like, the other thing Zach said was if it's full this spot and then I got to walk it all the way over there. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Just walk it over there.
Yeah.
It's called not being an a-hole.
Get some steps in.
Big Uke. So the off-topic topic for William Huff was something that isn't illegal but frowned upon.
Oh.
That's where that one came from. So, and then it was return your cart.
Yeah.
So yesterday I went to Costco to pick up the chips and some water for you to take to tailgate. And I was like, this is what you do. Mm-hmm. You take the cart and you put it back.
Good.
You don't just leave it.
It's not hard.
You'd be a good citizen.
Very simple concept.
Yep.
It's called being courteous.
Yep.
So that's where that one came from.
What's another? I'm trying to think of another one that's frowned upon but not illegal. What were some of the answers to that?
Like really annoying things that people do, like parking beside you in an empty parking lot when there's a million other spots. I hate that. That pisses me off so much.
Yeah.
Why?
I hate the people that take up 4
parking spots.
stalls.
The truck, you guys with your trucks, you guys are idiots. There are designated lines for you to park in. And the ones that take up 3-4 spots are just dumbasses.
And there are times there's those bigger trucks where they'll maybe take both because they're just a little too long. They don't want to stick out. Or maybe they're just too wide that they take a second. I do get those ones at times because you're just such a big truck.
But the ones that are
the ones that are angled and making sure they're taking 4,
you're
it's
a jackass.
Go away.
Yeah, I
don't care if it's an empty parking
person.
lot. Why do you even have to park at an angle? You just
because they're assholes.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
It's simple.
Standing beside someone at a urinal when there's empty ones.
That's a good one.
Good one.
That's a good
Funny
one.
enough, James Duthie is the opposite of that. James, he's wrote about it in this book. He's talked about it with JMO and I back with the old plays. He believes the sign of a true man is standing up next to someone.
No.
They're there.
No.
You see things, you go up to them and you take that one next to them, and that's the sign of a true
Only
man.
if that's the last available stall.
And
Otherwise,
talking to them at the urinal.
Do not talk to them unless
Oh
you
my
know.
God.
I hate to talk.
Yeah, I'm not interested in talking about the Oilers while I'm pissing.
Yes.
I'm good.
I just want to get in and out.
Yep.
I don't want to get splashback or anything.
Yeah.
Let me
please
focus here.
Oh, I hate splashback.
I don't know what else would be good ones. I hate when they put on the spot a little bit. So something that is
texted,
illegal but frowned upon. Or that's not
annoying.
illegal but frowned upon.
Just faux pas. Let me tee off on a few. Feeling spicy.
Like crosswalks. Like I'm trying to think. Like if you see someone sitting at a cross on the side of the road, and like you can see that obviously they're gonna look across the road, and you're driving, and you just keep driving. You don't let them.
Well,
slow
okay.
down.
Is there a light or no light?
No light.
Is there a stop sign or no stop sign?
No stop sign.
You're supposed to stop then.
Yeah.
The pedestrian for.
You're supposed to stop.
You're supposed to stop. If it's in the middle of a block, you don't have to.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not where you cross. You cross at the corner.
Yeah.
Or the crosswalk.
Big Uke not fixing a divot on a golf course.
That is a pain in the ass.
I'll give
That's
that one.
another jackass move.
Yep. 100%.
Well, who was actually Murray McCourt was talking about that on the VIP golf show.
Sundays at 8.
Yeah,
That's the first talk.
he was talking with who was it from Millwoods, and it's like, just fix your divots. It takes 2 seconds. It's kind of fun too. Mm-hmm. Get a nice divot fixer.
Yep.
Max Bezzosi putting hazards on to park anywhere, but I think that would be illegal. If you're parking a spot that you're not allowed to park on, then it's illegal.
Yep.
So I do hate those ones though.
EMG says parking or people driving too closely to bikers.
Although I have a pet peeve with bikers sometimes.
Go on.
Well, bikers act like, so they are supposed to be a motor vehicle and we're treated as such.
Right.
But then when you stop at a red light, they're zooming up next to you and they're going past you to get to the front of the line. And it's like, you're not treating yourself like a car.
That's
now.
right.
Like, no, you're supposed to be at the back of the line here behind all the cars as if you're a car. You don't get to just bike in between all of us or on the side of us to get to the front and keep going. Or one, because I do believe in bike lanes. I don't want to get in a bike lane debate here. But I hate being in downtown or being and you see a bike list on the road and you look over and there's a bike lane. You're like, why aren't you in the bike lane?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yep.
They're designed for you. That's what they are built for. You are a bike list. We built bike lanes for you. Be in the bike lane. Get off the damn road. That's why we have bike lane. I don't like those ones.
Yep.
They just annoy me because they're right there. Like you
I
can
agree.
see the bike lane next to you and you're like, why am I behind you right now?
There's a nightclub next door to our building, and there was one time there was like a Lamborghini parked in the bike lane, and I kind of laughed. I was like, you know what, that is a nice car. But then the other day I was walking by and there was like a Nissan Altima parked in the bike lane. I'm like, no, that doesn't work.
Nope.
In front of this place, and I'm like, I hope this car gets dinged up by idiots fighting or whatever, because that's what happens at that particular location and establishment.
Oh, no way.
Wait, it's not a great spot.
I like this from Vincenzo Rota, I think. Stopping with
Vincenzo.
5 seconds left in the light. I actually, because I have seen this, the countdown is for pedestrians only.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is not for drivers.
Yep.
And I hate when I see somebody like C5 and then they start stopping, because some, it's not all places, but some, they reset and it stays a green light,
Yeah.
but you're already braking.
Yep.
Then you got to pick it. Those are actually are just for the pedestrians.
Right.
And you're supposed to focus as a driver on green, yellow, and red.
Yeah, there's
Now
one
you
on 170th that's like
Yes. And now I get, like, it can be helpful if you, especially in the winter or something, if you're knowing, do I have to slam or something? You can, it should be a guide, I guess, there for you. But if it says green, you keep driving. You don't stop on green. You don't start slowing down on green. It's green. Keep going. I don't care what that pedestrian clock says.
Yeah.
It might not switch the light. Or sometimes it stops, it gets to 0, it stays green for another few seconds, and then it goes to yellow.
That's right. One that gets me, that since we're on this, is you're in the left turning lane and you get the advanced green and you're at the front or one of the first 2 cars and you are not paying attention and you burn up the whole 10 seconds of it. That irritates the living you know what out of me.
Yep.
Pay attention. Get off your phone. Don't do your hair. Don't do your makeup.
Drive.
Pay attention. Everybody
Yep.
needs to turn left, and you're being the jerk that's not turning left
Yep.
when the advanced green's going. I hate that.
I also, this isn't like not that bad, but I get so ticked off when I go in the right lane and there's a red light and someone swerves right in front of me to also go in the right lane, but they don't turn right at the light. They just sit there and they make me wait. I have to wait for a light to go green.
Oh yeah. Or
I'm
people
like-
waiting. They are at a red and they don't hit their blinker if they're gonna turn.
Yeah.
And then when the light goes green, they do it, and you're like, What are you doing?
Yep.
What are you doing?
Yep.
Highway driving, there's the merging, not merging at proper speed.
Yeah, proper. Yeah,
Staying in the left lane. I hate when even like it's a clear road and you just see that one car in the left lane.
Yeah.
And you're like, why are you in the left lane?
You're
Supposed to be in the right lane.
Yep.
Like, what are we doing here?
Get out of there.
Well, why? And that's why when driving when you get to 3 lanes, it's wonderful because now I can get past some of these idiots.
Yep.
Yes.
But the left, you're in the right lane. The only reason you should be going in the left lane, there's 2. One is because you're passing someone. The other is you're coming up on a part where someone's going to merge.
Yep.
And you could get over to the left lane to help them merge a little better onto. That's the other reason you go into that left lane.
Yep.
Beyond that, if you're driving in the left lane, and 1, if you see anyone pass you in the right lane, you're an idiot. Because you're not doing it right. 2, if you're just in the left lane and there's room next to you to go to right and you're not passing, get back to the right lane. Learn how to highway drive, people.
The worst. This happened a week and a half ago when I was coming back from Calgary Sunday afternoon. It was busy. It was whatever. That highway's always busy. So I'm coming back home, and like it got to a section where it was relatively quiet, and this one vehicle was in the left lane, and I was going at a good pace. I just wanted to get home, and I'm just like, do they not see me like coming up? And the right lane is wide open. And then I kind of waited. I'm like, all right, I got to pass on the right. This is brutal. And you get by that person, and I got by this person, and you just see them, and they're in la la land, just like, this is great. No big
Sunday
deal.
stroll.
And you're like, hey, dum-dum, get in the right side. And you can just see it on their faces.
Yeah.
They don't even think they're in the wrong.
Yep.
It's even like you may think that you passed one car and you see a couple more cars ahead. But if somebody's behind you, it's going a little faster, quickly get over, let them get by, get back in the fast, and pass the other
Get
people.
out of the
Don't have
way.
to slow everything down.
Yep.
It's just
I agree.
Obnoxious.
It's just wrong. And merge. I will say zipper merges.
It's not hard.
Well, it's you. If someone is at the front, if you're in the lane that's going straight still, and someone comes to the front where the sign is to say merge, you have to let them in.
Yep.
Yep.
They are doing the right thing by. They're not trying to cut the line.
No.
They're not trying to jump and you're just saying, oh, I had to wait. No, they're doing it right. A zipper merge is everyone goes to the end and you start merging at the end.
Yes.
If you are merging sooner, which like I do it at times,
If
you're
you
actually
find a
not
spot,
doing it right.
yeah.
You're not doing
Yeah.
it right. Actually, you can't get mad though. Someone that's doing it right, that's going to the front and merging over. You don't be that person that's like on the thing and not let someone in. You're doing it wrong then, and you're causing problems.
Well said. Your dad is a good man. He says, one time about 25 years ago, I did not return my cart. No particular reason, just didn't bother. The guilt I felt after doing that follows me to this day. For about 5 years after that, I would return my cart plus one that I could find just to make amends with the cart gods. Nate the Builder. Very done. Very well done. Very well done.
Smitty the Welder says it's against the law to travel in the left lane without passing. Is it really? Because if it is, I want them to start enforcing that.
What did Smitty the Welder say?
It's against the law to travel in the left lane without passing. Is that an actual road violation? Because if it is, then I want full police on that road all times. Don't care about the speeding at the point. Let's worry about the left-right lane.
I saw one RCMP on my trip to Calgary back the whole time. And I know they have ghost cars and all that, but I just saw one.
Jay says asking for one ketchup. We're now just stealing a whole Reed show from a couple days ago. Asking for one ketchup at a drive-through and then try to hand you 15 packets of ketchup.
Too generous.
Yep. That's a good one.
Oh, free flow lane in all caps. Yeah, some people don't understand that concept. Oh, here's another one. When you're turning right, but you hit your left. Like people, you know how it's like, it's the soft curb to the right?
Yes.
And people like turn their left blinker on when they're turning right. It's like, that's stupid.
Yep.
That's not how it works.
Nope.
You are turning right.
That's gonna get me on my traffic circle rant.
I'm not saying anything more about traffic.
I won't go there. I had an issue. Boots knows about it. I'm not going
ahead.
I need to go
In St. Albert, they are turning literally everything into traffic circles.
Are they?
Yes. There's one road they have it shut down.
Is that the new area?
Yes, newer areas where we live, and there's just one road that's gonna have 3 different traffic circles onto it. My neighborhood has 2 in it to get into it. People don't know how to go on through them. It's ridiculous. I've come to my side of a traffic circle. I've watched one dude go the wrong way and cut me off as I'm about to use my like it's ridiculous. And there's signs that literally tell you go right no matter what. You turn right. If you need the far exit, you go all the way around. And then
All
you go.
the way around.
People don't know how to use traffic circles. I can't believe it. Like it is so simple. Also, there's a huge debate with what light do you use when you're in the traffic circle?
It's left.
It's left.
Unless you're exiting.
Yes, if you use the left one all the way until your exit, and then you flick it to the right.
It's a very
Then you
simple
go.
concept. This text says zipper merging is a 10 out of 10 difficulty for a lot of people in Calgary. I think there's a lot in BC. Not sure about Alberta. That's the passing on the left or so. Bad Andy says it's annoying when people don't clean their machines or equipment off at the gym. Yes.
Yeah.
Your sweat
Let's
is
go,
disgusting.
Good one.
Also, when did it become a thing that you just record everything that you do at the gym?
That's the worst.
That's the thing. On
Nobody
TikTok,
gives
like,
a crap.
That's the TikTok.
And then they get
That's
mad
the
at other
TikTok.
people like for getting in their shot or something like that. It's like I'm just trying to grab my damn weights.
Yeah.
You set up your damn camera here. Like, go away. I'm just trying to do my
There's
thing.
this one couple at the gym I go to, and they always show up around the same time. And they're, like it's an old SNL bit with Sudeikis and the girl from Bridesmaids. Anyway.
Kristen Wiig.
Kristen Wiig, yeah. It was called The A-Hole Couple. And what do you want, babe? You want dinner? Yeah. There's this one couple that's just like them at the gym I go to, and Buddy only does arms. And then she works up, but everything they do has to be recorded. And I always have earbuds in, so I don't want to hear anybody. I just want to listen to I'm listening to our station, other stations, shows, whatever. And one time I took out my earbuds and I'm like, I just need to hear how these two talk to each other. And she's recording him and he's doing like bent or curls. She's like, that's a good one, babe. Oh yeah, I got it. And I'm like, you guys suck. You are the suckiest couple I've ever seen.
No wonder I don't go to
Just sucky sucks. I feel good about saying this.
Let's get to Play Alberta over under. Brought to you by Play Alberta. Download the app today or head to playalberta.ca. The promo codes for the month of June. EST Casino when you deposit 20 or more and get a $50 casino bonus. EST Sports when you deposit 20 or more and get a $50 free bet. Or there's also a YEG 50 when you deposit 5 or more to get a free $50 sports bet. Elks Owls coming up tonight. It's now actually the spread's now back to 6.5. Over under is 48.5 in this game. I was over under, let's say 2.5 combined straightforward touchdowns, both running / passing. 2.5.
2.5.
I'm going to bring it to 1.5. 1.5.
I'll go over on 1.5. I think the offense will find a bit of a rhythm, but that defense is going to be stifling.
I'm hoping they'll watch the over hit. So.
I'll take the over.
Yeah.
I feel like I got to take under.
I understand why.
Well, and I think Dusty's play, is it up? Yeah, Dusty's play of the day. He's got Cody Fajardo 1+ touchdown today.
Fajardo.
Well, but he got two,
with the punch
you'll
in.
get down to the goal line, you'll bring in Fajardo, he punches it in, and that's what kind of hurts sometimes when you're doing looking at a Trey Ford touchdown in that sense. So, I don't so the question, if I said at 1.5, that'd be 2 touchdown throws. I hope he can do that. This is the first time the Montreal Alouettes are going up against a team's quote unquote starting quarterback.
Right.
Nick Arbuckle is not the starting quarterback of the Argos.
Schultz.
Matt Schultz was the starting quarterback. He's not the starting quarterback of the Ottawa Red Blacks.
Yeah.
Montreal's coming to town against the starting quarterback of this team. So we'll see how the Owls do against him. We'll see how Trey does against them. The offense does need to be better.
Yeah.
Trey needs to be better. He needs to have a little bit better decision making, not putting the ball where his receiver's also going to get killed.
Oh, that hit on Arkel Smith, man.
But we'll also see how much the Owls respect what Trey can do when plays break down. That front four is great, but if you have the bad line with him, and it doesn't even have to be that bad of a line that you're running towards him,
right?
He'll just do a spin. He's got free space, and that's where he'll kill you.
Davis Alexander 6-0 as a starter.
Yeah, I think it's getting 7-0 is almost a historic.
I have it
in a way.
I have it. They send us records and stuff going into every week.
Yeah, I
He is
haven't
2
read the
behind
game notes
Danny
yet.
McManus, who started his career 8-0. Bo Levi Mitchell and Jeff Garcia both started 7-0 in their careers. Darian Durant, Damon Allen, Joe Zuger, and Jim Van Pelt also started their careers 6-0. You were a big Jim Van Pelt guy. You loved him in the late 50s with...
Oh, did I?
That looks like Winnipeg or maybe Hamilton. But you were more of a Joe Zuger guy, right?
Oh,
Manny?
he's a Joe Zuger guy.
Yeah.
That was the
Ticats
team
fan.
that I was
Yeah.
always for.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
See, they send us these things. It's kind of cool.
The CFL does a great job sending out notes, and,
Yeah.
and I think some of those you can find on the CFL site if you're a fan. It's just not easy to find, which
I
is
was just saying,
problem.
when I do my sportscast and stuff, it's like kind of hard sometimes.
Do you want me to forward those?
Oh, that one's within the TSN.
Yeah.
I'm good.
cool.
Oh,
that comes from John Perlberg within House.
Yes.
TSN. He always used
Yeah.
to send those ones. But then the CFL has its own notes that they also send out, which is they often give some pretty good stats to quickly read through. As the Elks, taking on the Owls tonight. Green and Goal kickoff show 6:00. From the BC game, it's the exact same roster except Brett Boyko will be playing at the right tackle position. He didn't play that game because of an injury. Something just happened in Tecmo where I am behind by like a play, so I'll find out what's going on here. But yeah, it should be fun. Tailgate will get going. Tailgate will be bumping. I know Turf District's got smash burgers tonight.
Dave in Section T, I think said come for a cheesesteak. Is that right, Dave? Yeah.
And then Elks Herd has salt and pepper wings. I think that's what's going on for a bit in the tailgate.
Oh, I'm coming by. And then if you're in stadium, go see Joaquin for some glizzies or anything else, a delectable treat. Yeah. He made a great grilled chicken sandwich for me. It was so good.
That's my pregame meal today.
Bought him a beer after.
10-0. Hernan leads against Uke right now.
Uke's game is slipping, man.
Uke's just... This is what he gets for not coming and playing. By the way, if you go to Play Alberta and click on EST specials, we've got a few plays up right now. Jay and Matt's big play of the game for tonight's game. Elks plus 7.5. Elks defense with the 1+ turnover. Justin Rankin 50+ rushing. Trey Ford 225+ passing and rushing yards combined. That's plus 450. The early bird bet today has the Elks plus 7.5 plus the Stingers plus 7.5.
Oh.
So a little Edmonton special there. That's plus 225. I mentioned the Cody Fajardo touchdown. Dusty's play of the day at minus 111. Him scoring a touchdown. And then Jay's play of the day is up. I'm not going to say it. I'll leave that for the Reed Wilkins show with Jay Mill for them to talk about. But if you head to playalberta.ca or go to Play Alberta and click on EST specials, you'll see what Jay's play is earlier.
Riverhawks with the win yesterday at home, by the way.
It's bounced back.
Yeah.
They lost game 4.
Yeah, they were through to Kelowna, or they're in Kelowna over the weekend.
Yeah.
That was a bit of a tough go.
And the Stingers, they're in Red Deer tonight, I think.
I think so.
Is this where the Battle of Alberta is happening? Mm-hmm.
Is it a Battle of Alberta?
Yeah.
Yeah. So then, there's a game in Red Deer that goes tonight.
Where are they playing that? Is that at Centrium?
Let me see if I can find
Or
it.
is
I would
it at
assume
the new
Westerner Park Centrium.
Okay, yeah.
Must be the name. Yeah. So that's at 7:30.
Hopefully that gets good.
We'll have that
Good
one on
crowd.
our audio stream. We won't have Riverhawks tonight. I don't. Actually, what do I have on our website?
I don't know, Matthew.
Well, I got to look now. Which
And
one
then
did
are
I?
you guys on location or here for pre and post?
Here?
Okay. You're not at Sully's anymore?
No.
Okay.
Today's the 19th. I've got Stingers, not Riverhawks tonight.
Cool.
On our
That should be a
schedule.
good game.
So 7:30 till about 9:30, and then post game should be about 10ish. Jay and I will jump on the air.
Yep.
And we'll have a recap of Elks Owls tonight.
I will be watching.
And we'll see how it's if they get a win today, just how much that calms things down, I think, for this city and the organization themselves. Like, again, getting that first win in June since 2019, it'll just make them feel so much better as they proceed into like going into Winnipeg next week, which will be a very tough one. Like right now, I could see that line being, depending how they play this weekend, I could see that line, the Elks being again 7-point underdogs, if not more. But you get a win today, just that confidence. The team has that belief, and defensively, like I don't think they'll be as bad on second downs. Did great job on first downs especially in that second half. They did a great job of forcing second and longs. They just couldn't convert those into third downs. And that's the thing that I think they will be better on. And I don't think Davis Alexander, as good as his start is Nathan Rourke in that sense. That I think they'll be able to get off the field a little bit more. So then, offensively, can you go and get what you need? Did you just miss a field goal?
I don't know. I'm not watching the game while doing a radio show.
Well, I just looked down. I thought I saw a field goal, maybe. Uke. I'm so disappointed in him. In so many ways, I'm just disappointed with him. And now Hernan's just running with John Elway.
He's running with Elway?
Yeah, Hernan's very good at using his quarterback to gain yards.
How fast is Elway? In
Not
this
that
game?
fast,
Because
but as a defender, when you fall back to cover their passing, if you get outside that pocket, you don't have enough to close the gap. It's for Tecmo. You wouldn't understand since you don't play it.
what do you got, Benny? You got something there?
Well, I was just gonna ask, like, it's a little off topic, but with the media for the Oilers, like, is this like I've kind of been able to gauge this already? Like, is this the day where reporters kind of get to go like ask the hard hitting questions? Like if when you're going there with questions prepared for these guys, like, are you openly going knowing that like you're gonna ask harder questions than when you would?
Yeah, this is where look, you can let a couple of fastballs fly.
Yeah.
I mean, again, you have to maintain a relationship with these guys.
Of course.
So you're not going in there to sewer them. If you do, they're gonna tell you to F off the next time they see you.
Yeah.
And probably moving forward. There's a bit of a give and take.
Yeah.
And it's trying to figure out, I think sometimes, and it doesn't usually happen, what was the injury status is for the
that's-
playoffs, what
that's-
finished. Like,
that stuff.
where were everyone in the playoffs that definitely they weren't going to talk about in the playoffs, but maybe they'll talk about it right now.
Yep. Contract talk I'm seeing a lot of, and all that, like all that stuff. It's the hard hitters that you don't want to ask during the years being asked now, I guess, which is fair.
Bouchard was asked about offer sheet potential. He didn't say much.
Yeah. Does Rashog have some like injury or something? Like because Gregor looks like he's chirping him on Twitter. He says,
I'll
"Hey,
have to-
hey,
Well,
hey,
yeah.
step and a half, heal up."
Well, it could be his gout, so that's not nice.
Oh.
And then it looks like Shoggy is recording off a TV screen.
Yeah.
You can see him holding it up in the reflection.
Yeah. Interesting.
I had something else I was going to say on all
What
that.
were you gonna say?
I just forgot.
Is it about Tecmo?
No, it was about the
Okay.
Oilers stuff and the injuries and Rashog. I don't know. Maybe I'll think.
Squeeze
about
your
it
right
later.
fist.
Is that a thing?
It activates the left side of your brain, and that's where your memory storage is.
Yeah, but I'm just thinking about squeezing my right fist, so that's not working.
Well, think really hard.
Okay.
Well, we were saying the injuries. Oh, the Bouchard. There we go. The offer sheet. I don't see there's any way that Bouchard would accept an offer sheet.
I don't know.
Like,
I don't
By all
think he-
accounts,
Yeah.
McDavid and Leon and some they weren't happy with the offer sheets that the boys signed.
yeah.
That got them to St. Louis.
No.
Are you really
Or should
going
they
to
be?
twist the arm of an organization where, you might go and they're going to be live like, I don't see that. I don't think Bouchard's going to sit there and go,
Because
I'm gonna get this team.
Yeah, Bouchard isn't going to juice out much more money from a different team than the Oilers. Like, no team's going to sit there and go and pay
They're not giving him
Bouchard
14.
15. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like the Oilers' offer is going to be similar to any other offer a team will give him on an offer sheet. So
and it would be a
There's no
short
money
term.
to juice out.
To do that, the other team would have to give you a short term deal.
Yeah.
I think Bouchard wants that longer term deal. I don't think another team's necessarily going to give him that longer term deal.
yeah,
I even just from that perspective of this organization, you may have known how the locker room feels about that.
yeah.
You might.
But yeah, like there's no like with Broberg and Holloway, the Oilers were gonna try to squeeze out every dime they could have out of them.
Yeah, and in the end, it was even just while that offseason where we thought maybe they would get matched, that the Oilers were not too pleased. Some of the players
Yeah.
were like, "Really?"
I was
So,
just,
and that's where I think would Bouchard really want to put the players,
that-
his friends, or teammates into that situation for a second straight year. If he also feels like the Oilers will keep me type of thing.
yeah. We're me and my friends were talking about right before the offer sheets. That was McDavid's wedding, and Broberg and Holloway were both there. I wonder if they kind of knew
And then the flip side of that, I was like, do you want to be in the situation where Broberg and Holloway are, where you're potentially sitting there in June going, I wish I was with that team in the Stanley Cup final?
Broberg probably doesn't feel that
no,
way. Holloway does.
definitely not Broberg. Holloway though.
Holloway does, because we know that because he fired his agent.
Yeah.
That tells you everything you need to know, I think, about the situation and where he was with it. EST Hangout presented by Sentinel Storage, Canada Storage experts. Thank you for tuning in. We've got Lock Shop coming up in a few minutes. We got two guys and a goalie. EST afternoons. Reed Wilkins show with Jay Milne, and then 6 o'clock Green and Gold kickoff show. Myself and Jay will get you covered card for Elks and Als. Tomorrow on the Hangout, we will definitely be talking about that quite a bit. Benny, good job today.
Thank you.
Tommy, good job today.
Thanks,
All
man.
the best with the broadcast
Thank
later
you.
tonight. On behalf of Benny, Tommy, I am Matt. Thanks for tuning in to the EST Hangout. Live right here at Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton Sports, presented by Play Alberta. Lock Shop coming up in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere.
Let's go. There you go, right in front of the camera.
First-time guest, long-time listener, fan of the original draft commissioner.
Welcome to the EST Hangout presented by White Claw Hard Seltzer. The difference is clear. Matt Iwanyk, Tom Gazzola with here. Joining us today,